and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'm a
Peace, and welcome to another episode of Elevate the Mic. And I'm your host, Max Mupesse. Today, we're joined by a guest who has opened for a lot of artists in the city of Montreal, and who's also making his name, and who's been in the game for quite some time. He's representing NDG and a lot of places from Montreal. Let us all welcome Shobiz514. How you feeling, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, listen, it's good that we're actually doing this live and for the first time. You know,
Oh, definitely.
we've been talking for some time, and I see that you've been making some noise for some time. And one thing I noticed about you, you're out there. When it comes to shows, you present yourself, you show up. What's one thing that keeps you going whenever it comes down to like shows happening in the city and telling yourself, I gotta be out there?
It's bigger than just me. I like to consider myself as just part of the movement. So by being at shows, by supporting other artists, it's also contributing to moving it forward. It's part of the reason why I put on events myself too, so I can give other artists an opportunity to perform and actually get their music out there as well.
That's good. And you say you started organizing your own events. When did that come about exactly?
Roughly around the same time I started performing. So I would say around 2022, 2023. It started as a platform that I was just going to use promoting artists online. And then it transformed into something else. Somebody asked me, hey, do you want to be a sponsor for a show? It made sense. And along the way, I've done a couple of shows with other different promoters. And now this year, I'm starting to actually put on my own shows. It's been fun doing it along the way. I've gotten to meet a lot of great people. By going to other shows and having this platform, it allows me to present myself in a different light. I find a lot of times people don't necessarily like speaking with an artist directly, so the platform Montreal Hidden Hits gives me a way in that is a little bit... I feel like other artists think another artist is judging them when they reach out.
Okay.
So Montreal Hidden Hits just gives me that neutral playing field. I can have a great conversation with an artist, and half the time they don't even know who they're actually speaking to. Part of the reason I did that was because I'm an artist myself. I don't want people to be like, oh, Shobiz is doing this.
Right.
It's a way for him to push his own agenda, self-promote himself, when that's not actually the case for the platform. It's for the people, it's for the city, and it's growing. I'm building it up. I enjoy doing it.
That's it, man. What's interesting from what you're telling me, I get that is, for one, once you push something that you actually love, other people are gonna get to see something talented in within what you push, right?
Oh,
so
definitely.
For you to push what you pushed, another person approached you and said, hey, you want to be a sponsor, or you want to be part of what we got going on, and that opened up doors, and that's always a blessing. And another thing too, based on what you're telling me, is that, you know, you get to experience both worlds. What's good about you is that you have the business side of things, you understand the business side, and also the creative side. So that definitely opens up even more doors. Hey, that says a lot.
I had to learn that. Somebody literally told me one day, they just looked at me straight up and they were like, you're a manager of businesses. Use that knowledge in the music game.
Yeah.
And that changed everything for me. I was like, I already know how to do this. I built myself up from the bottom in the corporate world to be able to do what I'm able to do at work. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. If you treat your artistry as a business, and I know a lot of people nowadays are saying that more and more, it makes a lot more sense than just being like, hey, I'm an artist, I can just go about it however I want. You can, but the more structure you have behind it, the more knowledge you acquire as you're doing it and put that into play, it really helps. I won't say accelerate things, but it really helps align things to the point where other people start to take you seriously. The quality of the videos, that takes time, that takes planning. Some of the shows, if you want to deliver a great performance, that takes time, that takes planning.
Listen.
It's not just like, hey, I'm an artist, book me, I'm going to show up on Friday, not practice, not put in the work,
Right.
and do my thing. It doesn't necessarily work that way, and it'll only get you so far, in my opinion. Because I have the Montreal Hidden Hits platform, I've seen that way more artists lack that side of it. And it's not just, oh, do I know how to work in a business or understand part of the business? A lot of them lack communication.
True.
The way we make
true.
music is not
People in
necessarily
general,
the
yeah.
way the business world communicates. And that's a big thing I find a lot of artists coming up don't understand fast enough. So they're still speaking how they would in their everyday life,
Right.
and not realizing that behind whatever platform you're communicating on, there's probably somebody in a suit in an office building that has to report to somebody else, so their communication skills have to be to a certain level where there's an understanding. Because if I'm just like, yeah, yo, book me, it's nothing, guy, like, I'ma be there, like,
Nah, man.
it's not
we
the
don't-
same as if you can actually communicate with the understanding of what you've learned along the way.
Nah,
That's how I see it.
That definitely makes sense because it makes you stand out at the end of the day. And I want to double down on what you said earlier from the bottom. You started from the bottom. And you actually have a new project out called
ShoTime Volume
Thank
3.
you. ShoTime Volume 3. I was going to say Showbiz Volume 3. You never know. It could turn out to be Showbiz Volume 3 in the future. But based on what you said in Nights, I like the song Nights, by the way. Shout out to you and King KLV. Very, very good record. That's a record I'd say it's replay value. Like replay.
appreciate
I kept on replaying so far, and it was in my head for quite some time, for quite a few minutes. And you mentioned something about your past as it pertains to your parents and also losing your brother. So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
The brother part is one of my dudes that I grew up with. I've known for over 20 years. He's not my actual brother.
Got it.
I do have two brothers, but I'm
Yeah, for the record.
fortunate enough that they're both still here. So,
Hey, that's important.
no, but for the Nights record, shout out to my dude Shvelly. He's the one who actually came to me with the project. And then we were able to reach out to King K, and we were lucky that he accepted the project. But like a lot of my music, I try to tell real stories. So during my lifetime, there was a lot of ups and downs. So both my parents had their issues along the way, and in my opinion, it helped define who I am as a person, because I was able to see all these different things around me and not necessarily fall into the trap that is set up when you come up in an environment where your mom has issues with drugs and your dad's drinking. I grew up in the system, right? So I wasn't always with my parents. And some of the times I was with my parents, it wasn't the greatest experiences. In my bio that I have out there online, I do explain it a little bit more, like growing up in the system, not necessarily being around my family, my siblings the whole time. It allows you time to think and process your thoughts, and through that is when I started writing music and writing lyrics. And as I grew older, I was like, I can do the fun music. That'll be great. That'll probably get a little bit more attention than some of the realer music. But as I've matured a little bit more as an artist, I don't care as much to be as vulnerable as I am on songs. Like I enjoy it, and I find the interpersonal connection that it has with some of the audience is what I strive for. Like to be able to have those real conversations with some of the people that listen to the music, and they're like, hey, I understand that. Or I've even had a couple of times where people are like, hey, this particular song helped me get through a hard time. And they like the fact that I kept it real, that it was raw, and I wasn't trying to sugarcoat anything.
Sick.
And that's what I try to do on nights as well. Like, I'll give it to you straightforward. You like it or you don't, but it's real.
That's important. What I get from what you're saying as well is that you didn't have to look for external inspiration or external, motivation when it comes down to writing. It came from your actual story.
Oh, yeah.
And got it. Okay.
I have one of those stories that either makes or breaks somebody. And I decided to use it to help me push forward, as opposed to just sit there and be like, oh, poor me, I didn't get the greatest shot, so I'm just going to sit back and let whatever happens. No. Get up every day like everybody else, and I got to keep pushing forward and keep working on myself and keep aspiring for more, right? That's how I see it. I can't just sit back and stay stagnant and whatever happens.
And that's why you make singles like Get Better.
Doing better.
Doing better.
Yeah. Like I said, I tell real stories, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, so do you mind telling us a little bit about what you said earlier? Either a story, would you mind telling us about the story you mentioned that either can make or break a person?
Oh, my life story is full of ups and downs. I was in the system at a young age. Both my parents battled with their own addiction problems. I've moved from foster home to foster home, group home to group home. Missed a lot of school, failed a little bit, but I kept fighting for more. I didn't want to just sit back and be like, oh, well, I guess I had a rough childhood, so I can't strive for more. No, it helped build resilience, especially during my young teenage years, 13, 14. I knew that I had to work and try a little bit harder than everybody else. I didn't really speak to a lot of people because I didn't want them to know too much of what I was going through.
Listen, I know what you mean.
And as a result, I don't have too many like long-term friends where I'm like, yo, I've known this guy for 30 years, but the people that I am around, they're really good people. So the battles that I had growing up, like I have 5 siblings. I have 3 sisters, 2 brothers.
Got it.
I didn't really grow up with them. We were all over, and like some of them lived with my dad, some lived with my mom. I was in the system, in and out. They were in the system as well, but different circumstances for different people sometimes.
Got it.
My situation, like, there was a lot of childhood trauma, and as a result of that, like I said, it made me a stronger person. Like, when I don't really want to get too into detail on certain things, but when life beats you down to within an inch of yourself, you can either just give up or you can fight for more. And I decided to fight for more. Living with my mom at the age of like 10 and 11 could have resulted in a different outcome. Those were some of the darkest years of my life, and because of the type of fight that I have in me, I was the one who had to make the necessary steps to get out of that situation.
Got it.
So I ended up running away from home, essentially at the age of like 10, almost turning 11, in order to get out of certain circumstances. And that's helped build the type of person I am, the character that I have. A lot of the scars that I have are a result of those times. So,
got it.
Like I said, it could make or break people.
Make or break me. Yeah, it's important. It's deep what you're saying, because it's personal. It's very personal.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and what you go through in your household sometimes could be projected into the real world, and some people may not understand because you had some serious times. There were some serious times you dealt with.
Yeah.
So let's double down on trust, because what happens is that when you go through the system and you meet different people,
I
there's
don't
all
trust
kinds
a lot
of
of people.
I was gonna ask you how did you manage to, or how do you manage to improve your trust factor, like learning how to trust people?
I go off vibes and feeling. If I don't get a good vibe, I don't get a good feeling, I won't even engage. It's some people say it's not necessarily the best way to go through life, but it's helped me get this far. So what I mean is, like, if we're meeting for the first time, based on that conversation, we'll decide whether I continue to communicate with you or not. Just because, based on my experiences, and I'm not speaking for everybody, a lot of people have hidden agendas. Not saying that everybody does, but I've experienced that way too many times to take things at face value. So when, like, since I've been making music, I'll tell people, hey, I'm not having these conversations. I performed, it's late, I've been drinking, like, now's not the time to necessarily engage, because I want to be able to analyze and assess the situation properly. I don't want anything to influence how I'm seeing things, especially when people want to talk business or get to know me. I have to have a straight mind and a clear mind so I can figure out what I'm dealing with, or at least that's how I feel for me. I also find that there's a lot of people that have gone through difficult things, and those people, for some reason, I have a better connection with. It doesn't even have to be spoken. It's just one of those things. As you're talking to somebody and you see where they're coming from, you're like, I've been there.
Resiliency,
right?
Real, recognize real.
But it takes me a little bit of time to warm up to somebody. Even if they do have the best intentions, it takes me some time.
Absolutely.
I'm not comfortable in every room with everybody. It's even if I know 90% of the people, if there's a couple of people in there where I'm not feeling 100%, I'm still going to be a little bit more reserved than I normally would be. I don't like people necessarily reading me that much. So I find it might sound stupid, but by keeping to myself, it gives me a better opportunity to observe what other people are doing and how they're moving.
Got it.
And then I can figure out how to proceed from there.
It's a chess move.
Yeah.
Definitely. Life is moving. You got to move as a chess player in life as well. It's important.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I like to ask this question just to get an idea of, like, the wildest things you would do in your teenage years, because I was a wild kid as a teen. So what's the wildest prank you ran as a teenager, whether it's in school or out and about?
I didn't have a lot of fun as a teenager.
Okay.
Just because I was going through a lot of my personal life, in and out of group homes, moving around a lot, having to just navigate, and I also played basketball, so that was my main focus. I didn't have time for anything else. I didn't really hang out, so I'm not the fun guy necessarily.
Okay.
And I feel like my music also says that too. Like, my music is a little bit more serious, a little bit more focused and straight to the point. That's how I am as a person. Like, I don't want to necessarily prank somebody or do anything really that will negatively impact somebody, just because of all the things that I've gone through. Like, I've been, like I said, I had a rough childhood. So going through what I went through, because I was so reserved and so shy going into high school, I'm the one who got pranked and bullied and put into these situations.
Okay.
Mostly because those kids didn't know what I was going through. So I'm not that person. Like, I know it's...
No, it's all good, man.
Not what you were expecting, but...
Not at all, man. No, it's all good, definitely. Yeah. Everyone has their story. However, when it comes down to your music, who were the people that inspired you in your earliest years and that kept you going throughout your journey?
People-wise or music-wise?
People.
Me, myself, and I.
Okay.
Because during those years until I was about 15 or 16, when I ended up meeting some really good people, I didn't have anybody. Like, my dad was with my older brother and older sister in Ontario. I was in the system. My little brother and little sister were with my mom on and off, and then with my brother's grandmother. So I was by myself a lot. I was stuck with my own thoughts. So there's a lot of things that I had to navigate on my own, and I had to figure out as I went along.
No DMX, no Nas, no Wu-Tang.
I did listen to music, but I don't listen to a lot of music. So the influences of when I was roughly around 12, 13, you got 50. I listened to a lot of like D Block. I like Cassidy's one of my dudes as far as like a rapper goes. So I listen to a lot of punchlines and a lot of bars, and I find East Coast rappers tend to tell real stories.
Yeah.
They don't have as much fun as, like, let's just say a West Coast or a South rapper, and that kind of helps shape how I put music together. The stories, even though they're not necessarily always a reflection of me, but some of those East Coast, New York rappers' struggle stories and how they were able to tell the story and put it down on paper, that inspired me to actually start writing music. And at the time, I'm in high school. I'm like, yo, watch, one day I'm going to be a rapper. Never happened during high school. But like I said, the struggle stories, if you have a good story to tell and you can communicate it properly, I'm here to listen.
Got it. We went over some records on your most recent project called ShoTime Volume 3.
Yeah.
If I had a pen, I was gonna pull out a pen and pretend like if I was in Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if you remember the scene when he's like, "Sell me that pen," right? So let's just say we had a pen right now, an imaginary pen, and we would ask you, "Sell me your most recent project, ShoTime Volume 3." How would you sell it?
If you like raw, unfiltered hip hop and stories that have an impact and show a broader perspective on some of the street life and street elements, ShoTime Volume 3 is for you. It gives you a nice little mix of really, really intense stories, and then I do give a little bit of a lighter side with songs like Let Me Do What I Did, Things I've Been Through. So something like Things I've Been Through, the hook is very impactful, but it's not necessarily as intense as a Doing Better.
Got it.
And I find I had to work on that a little bit. Sometimes on previous projects, I was a little too intense the entire way through. And that had an impact on the audience, and it had an impact on how it was received. By being a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit more diverse on ShoTime Volume 3, it's allowed me to have more of an impact on a broader audience. So where I like telling the real stories, I've had, since I've dropped this project, people have come up to me and they're like, hey, Things I've Been Through, the flow, the way you put that together, I kind of prefer that version of you.
Got it.
So being diverse and having a different perspective on how I put the project together was really impactful for this project.
Got it. You mentioned impact quite a few times. Congratulations on fatherhood.
Oh, thank you.
How has fatherhood impacted your life, or is impacting your life?
I love it. It's made me look at things through a different lens. I've got to work that much harder now.
The grit, the grind.
Yes, but there's got to be a balance. So my son just turned 6 months a couple of days ago.
Oh, wow.
And I work, I do a lot as an artist. Balance is very important. So that's something that I need to pass down to him. You can work hard, but you got to find a balance, and you got to keep those who you keep close to you as close as possible and take the time, especially with what I've been through in life.
Right.
A lot of separation. It's just changed the overall perspective that I've had on life. Like, I don't really trust a lot of people,
Yeah.
but I would trust that kid with my life, and he's only 6 months old,
Listen,
right?
listen.
So it's amazing. Not everybody has the opportunity to be a father. I love it.
Is there such thing as balance? Because I was telling this person I had a conversation with when I thought about it. Like, based on my perspective, I was thinking it would be boundaries, right? Balance would be the word we use for balance would be it would be summed up to boundaries. For instance, if we know that spending Sunday with our child, with you know, our kids or a child or nephews, nieces, whomever we actually love, is more important than making that sale that could bring you $10,000, then you would set a certain amount of hours or spend probably even the next 48 hours with your child or your loved ones, and that would be considered a balance for the most part. Would you agree, or what's your thoughts on that?
I would say if you don't find balance, you'll never be able to know what your boundaries are.
That's a good one.
Because
So how do you find balance then?
you got to take into consideration everything you're doing and be extremely organized and plan things out in advance. Where I find before I had a baby, it was more freelance. Anything you needed me to do or you needed me to be in a certain place, I could do it. I could drop everything and just go. Now that I have him, movement sometimes can be a little bit more difficult. Like, for example, if it's a Wednesday night, I've gone to enough shows and you're like, hey, pull up to my show. I have to then weigh my options. How does going to this show positively affect what I'm doing as an artist and with Montreal Hidden Hits? Is that more important than, hey, spending 3 or 4 hours with my son? So once, because I'm still learning, it's still new to me. Once I figure out exactly how much time I can give to everything, then I can figure out where my boundaries are. Okay, so like,
got it.
but there's always rules, like exceptions, because since I've been doing a lot and being a dad at the same time, like today, Sundays, that's a family day.
Right.
But exceptions have to be made. So
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. I was gonna say it's almost like if we ask ourselves, does the chicken come before the egg, or the egg comes before the chicken? I mean, yeah, it definitely makes sense what you're saying too, and it also applies to your life, right? So I would say it depends on who the person is and how they move throughout life, right?
yeah.
Definitely. So, what's a current life lesson that you're proud that you have accomplished, or a current achievement that you're proud of you accomplished?
I would say being a dad, but that's too obvious. Finally
Wish
starting
that would come with a
to be-
trophy, like, hey man, yo, congratulations, you got a child.
What was that? I think it was Chris Rock that had that joke.
Right?
Right? You don't get trophies for things you're supposed to do.
Especially
But,
as men, right?
I would have to say finally being able to put all of the pieces together. So, you know, when you're younger, you don't really know what direction you want to go in as a person. You have your ups and downs, different jobs, different goals that you have, right? But you don't know how to get there. Especially with somebody like me who didn't really have a lot of people to show me the way. It took a lot of trial and error. Seeing if this would work, that would work, different jobs, different experiences, different apartments, separating myself from certain things.
All right, here you go. We got on the shirt here. All right, perfect. All right, thank you. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Perfect. good. Different jobs, you were saying different jobs and different opportunities
Yeah,
that you
because
go through.
like I said, when you're a young person, you just feel lost and you're trying to find your way. So now, as I've gotten a little bit older, I've started to get things a little bit more together. Like now, I don't have the same issues I used to have when it comes to balancing, let's just say, money, for example, right? When you're younger, you're like, oh, I want this, and you're not necessarily thinking about long term. I'm getting my license, like I'm in the process of getting my license, which is, I didn't have anybody around me to drive, so the importance of getting it didn't really hit me until later in life, and it's
Got
like, okay, so I got to do this, and then you realize how many steps you have to go through to actually start getting things together. Like it's not just like you wake up one day and you're like, okay, I have my life organized. This is what I know what I have to do. So to be able to say that I'm finally starting to figure things out, that's probably the biggest accomplishment, because
That's good.
even up to a couple of years ago, it's like I'm going into my 30s now. I'm 35. Am I comfortable being a manager? Do I want to do something else? Do I want to take certain types of risks? And then I took a risk with music, and that just helped balance things out for me. It was something, like I had said earlier, I had always wanted to do and never actually taken the time to put it all together. So when I did that and I realized, hey, if I actually take the time, put in the work, I can accomplish certain things instead of always putting it off to the back burner. Oh, I can do it later, I can do it later, I can do it later. Well, later doesn't always come.
Right? Shit.
So if I don't
Man,
actually
learn that way, man.
figure things out now, it's going to be too late, and then I'm going to be one of those people that are like, damn,
Right.
I could have, but I didn't.
Nah, that's the worst. What's the Mr. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, now it's, hey, I'm going to do it even if it takes a little bit of extra work. Like my girl tells me sometimes, hey, you need to relax. There's no time to relax.
Shoot.
There isn't. Work's got to be done. Even when you are relaxing, there's always self-reflection that can be done.
how
There's
can I do
always
this
something
better?
you can do to improve and make tomorrow a little bit better than yesterday. That's how I see it.
Yeah, 100%. So, has being a manager made you want to become an entrepreneur or an owner of a company? How would you say it? How do you see it specifically?
I would own my own stuff where I had a lot of the control. Having been a manager for so long, I realized that there's a lot of bureaucracy that goes on. So a lot of people don't necessarily always do things the right way. They do it the way they're told.
Right.
You have to do it this way because, well, what if we do it a different way? Let's get creative. Let's try something else. It hasn't really had an impact on me wanting to own stuff as much as, let's just say, Montreal Hidden Hits. Right? So being a manager gave me the knowledge. Starting a platform that allows me to put on different events, network with different people, and actually be involved a little bit more in community activities per se, that has made me be like, okay, so I got to get this registered. I got to build this as a business. I got to figure out how to get everything organized so that it makes sense.
Got it.
Where being a manager, it doesn't necessarily give you that drive to own stuff. Like, I sell coffee. I'm not opening up a coffee shop anytime soon.
Right. I see what you mean.
Right? It's just,
Yeah.
maybe if I was in a different type of business, it might have had a little bit more impact on me. But I've been around franchise type businesses for so long now that I realize that it's a gamble. The restaurant business is too much of a gamble for me to be like, yeah, I wanna do it. No, sorry.
Right. And I'm pretty sure that you're almost numb to the smell of coffee now. Like you smell coffee, like I've smelled that.
Yeah, I love coffee though.
Okay.
Right? Quality is everything. So if you've had the opportunity to experience a good cup of coffee, espresso, you'll understand why people enjoy coffee so much.
It's therapeutic also, almost. Like,
Yeah.
You know, really.
It's different than like I make real coffee, so we have an espresso machine, we grind the beans, we do it all from scratch. It's a different experience overall than, let's just say, going to Tim Hortons,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean.
where you're just in and out. Like being a manager of a coffee shop where we do everything, it gives us the time to communicate with the customers, get their impact and feedback, and apply it to what we're doing. It gives us the opportunity to actually explain the knowledge and the science behind certain things and what flavors go together. If you take it seriously, like I have, it's almost like being a wine taster.
Right. Got it. The patience, the
Yeah,
vibe, and just being present.
it's different. But maybe it's also because I've been doing it for so long and I'm passionate about what I do that I have that feeling for coffee. Maybe everybody's just like, hey, it's espresso, it's expensive, I'm not going there.
Right.
But
I mean,
coffee's had an impact on my life.
hey, man, whatever floats your boat, man. It definitely, if it embodies what you do, also, it could help you in certain ways as well. It's not just, I definitely look at coffee and tea as something that you take time to sip. Don't just like chunk like it's water or whatnot. Like you really gotta be present.
Depends on what kind of coffee you're drinking. So in the morning, yeah, you're going to grab a cup of coffee. You're probably going to drink it a little bit faster than the after dinner shot of espresso that not everybody knows is used as a digestive to actually help settle your stomach a little bit more. So it also depends on the time of the day, who you're with. It's all about experiences.
Got it. Yeah, so speaking of experiences, let us focus on your most recent project, right?
Yep. Let's get it.
So what made you think about the title, and what made you think about the actual track list that you have at this moment, and how did you want to actually present it to the world before you even had it written down or even created?
I have to give the credit to the title to my dude Biggs LV, because before I dropped my first full body of work, I put on Instagram, hey, I'm looking for a title of a project. And he hit me back, he's like, ShoTime just makes sense. And now we're at the third installment of the ShoTime series. I took a little bit of time to put that together. I had to tell a story which is different than my other projects. My other projects, like the first two ShoTime installments, were just, I got some songs, let's put them together because I have to put out a body of work. ShoTime Volume 3, I took a little bit more time to decide what songs I wanted to put on the project, who I wanted to work with. Before that, I didn't really do too many features. I have a couple, Bamboo Twigs, Crazy A's. But I also wanted to step outside of my comfort zone with different types of artists. So I have a song with MOT.
Got it.
I have a song with Rico Blocks. And I have the song with King K and Shvelly's featured a few times throughout the project. I wanted to be able to tell my story in a different light, and I wanted the project to make sense from the beginning to the end. So if you start at the beginning with doing better, it gives a little bit more insight of what I've gone through and how hard it's been to get to where I am. And as you go throughout the project, you'll see that the mindset changes and it shifts. So that goes along with the confidence I've had as a person. Not everything, or at least now, not everything is a struggle for me. Not everything is hard. I've been able to get to a point where I can be confident, I can be comfortable in my own skin. So as I get towards the end of the project, you hear the confidence come out, the subject matter changes. It's not all sad music, it's more triumphant, more of a celebration. And that was the goal for ShoTime Volume 3. It wasn't just like, oh, Shobiz is about to tell us 12 sad stories again. No, I wanted to show a little bit more diversity. There's a few different styles of how I deliver it. So I have a couple of boom bap songs on there with Rico Blocks, MOT towards the end. I have a little bit more up-tempo songs throughout there as well, and then I have the stories that I tell. But I find this time what makes it different than previous songs that I've dropped is there was more time put into crafting the verses and making sure that everything made sense. It wasn't just, okay, I got a beat, let's put something to a beat and put it out there.
Right.
It had to make sense. So we'll just take one of the songs off the project, Checks.
Yeah, I like that one.
That project took several years to actually put together. And I was sitting on it for almost a year before I put it out as a project.
Got it.
It had to be right. The timing had to be right. The original instrumental to that was very sad and very laid back. And because of the growth I've made as an artist, it didn't sit with me.
It's like it has the line. It has to align.
Yeah. So we went through a bunch of different instrumentals. I remember I was sitting with my dude Shvelly, and we were just recording it, trying to mix it, trying to bring the best out of it to a slower type of instrumental, and it just didn't work. And then as we continued to build and grow, we stumbled across the producer Buckroll. During that time, there was a few artists in the city that were using him as a producer. So I enjoyed the sound. I liked it. I was like, hey, let me go look into this producer myself. Found a couple of beats that I like, and Checks just fit.
Yeah. The beat is, yeah, listen, man, the beat is hard, man.
So I
like it.
I recorded that in the studio with Rico Blocks. Rico Blocks was there that day because we also did our song the same day. And he was like, I think that one there is something different. Like, we haven't heard that sound or that version of Shobiz before. And that lit a fire in me where I was like, okay, so I have to actually be more myself and not just, okay, I have a structure. This is what I want to say on the song and just go with it. No, it has to make sense. So ShoTime Volume 3 allowed me to actually take the time to structure the project from the first song to the last song. I think it took us a month to put the track list together properly. It wasn't just about, oh, do the stories align? Do the instrumentals sonically flow together as well? Because I didn't want to have, oh, well, you have a sampled beat here, and then you jump into boom bap, and then you have an up-tempo modern beat here. It had to make sense, and it had to flow. So there was a lot of time and dedication put into that project.
Got it. What made you choose the name Shobiz?
It's actually a homage to an old school rapper, Shobiz, out of New York.
Okay.
So I wanted to show that I'm about hip hop, but I had to put my own twist on it as well. So that's where I came up with the 514. But it's to show homage to somebody who's done it before me.
That's good, man. Someone paved the way, and you get inspired. So I want to move on to this segment called If I Had the Chance To.
Okay.
If I Had the Chance To is you getting a chance to have a conversation with your 16-year-old self. What would be the first thing you would tell that person? What would come to mind?
You got this. I find sometimes, or at least I can speak for myself, when you're in situations like I am, 16, living in a group home, not necessarily having contact with your immediate family, almost feeling very isolated in the world, knowing that there's better days to come would probably be the best thing that I could tell myself then. Hey, you got this. Just keep doing what you're doing and you'll eventually get to where you need to be. Everything else would be secondary. For me, at least, in my situation. The knowledge that I have and the things that I've learned along the way, yes, I would definitely want to pass it to my 16-year-old self, but
it could be very overwhelming, right? It could be very...
Well, I find that most of the time, when you're 16, you have a certain confidence from just being around your family. So you might not necessarily show it to the world, but everybody's like, oh, he was a great person, he's this, that, he's very outgoing, very charismatic. So I find 16, 17, you're building that and you're becoming more confident in yourself in that element, where when you're isolated, you don't know how you're progressing. You don't know if you're doing a good job. You don't know if how you're communicating is socially acceptable. There's nobody to show you there's milestones that you've hit, reached, surpassed, or upcoming milestones. You have to navigate a lot of that on your own when you're in a situation like I was in. So just having somebody being like, hey, you got this, don't worry, things are going to work out, would probably be the best thing for me.
Got it. Speaking of being the best thing for you, do you think AI right now is the best thing for artists?
It depends on how you use it. It really depends on how you use it.
I want to use it for a 16.
Yeah, no. The reason why I say that is because of the genre that I decided to be a part of. This is hip hop. Authenticity is everything. Creating your own rhymes and putting it together is part of it. It's why we don't have a lot of covers.
True.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing a DMX cover, like a cover artist coming up on my feed. No, it just doesn't happen.
You don't do that. Like,
right? So the
it's almost as worse as ghostwriting. Right.
No, I think AI would be worse than ghostwriting because at least there's a lane. Somebody was creative. A human being put together that song that you're now just reciting.
Right.
But AI, man.
It's a whole conversation, man.
Now, if we're using it for other aspects of life, correcting certain types of letters, maybe certain types of artwork, and I know a lot of people will hate me for that.
Listen,
However, as an independent artist that does almost everything myself, having AI to lean on when it comes to certain things like, hey, I'll hit you with a AI cover art. And I don't feel as bad as if somebody were to be like, hey, this 16 was written by AI. Hell no.
Right.
Right? Because
it diminishes it, man. It's like it waters it down. The value of it.
It's just not real.
Yeah.
And again, people could be like, well, you just said you would use it for cover art. That's not real either. However, we're in a different time when it comes to certain things like that. I can't necessarily go out and get everything that I need done at the speed that I need it done. Everybody, as we know, has a price.
Yeah.
You don't get things for free anymore. So if I've got to pay a subscription to a certain site that will allow me to create a cover art that makes sense for the project, for example, I just dropped a project called Mob Ties.
Okay.
The cover art, it's a real picture of me, but everything around it is AI generated. Right? Because
that's thoughtful. Yeah.
It's different, but it's still creative. It's not taking away from the aspect of being like, hey, I like that. That's cool. It looks good. Could you recreate it with a real artist? Yes. But again, when it comes to writing lyrics or writing music in general, it's not the same to me. And again, people will hate me for using it for cover arts and different things, but
it goes back to what you said earlier. It depends on what you use it for. So
yeah, like as for Montreal Hidden Hits, I use it when I'm putting together, let's just say, artist contracts, right? Because yes, I can write it myself, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a businessman. So if I can have AI restructure it and make it a little bit more professional, then why not?
Right. 100%.
Right? That's how I see it. So again, with the cover arts, it's convenient, it's quick. I'm using it for that.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, 100%.
But mind you, I also have the ability to turn around and make a flyer and a cover art myself because I've done that. I do that as well. It just helps speed up the process sometimes for different things.
Convenience, yeah.
You want to drop a project every month for 10 months like I have this year. Like I dropped a project, there's a video for almost every single song that I've dropped this year. I don't necessarily have the time to wait around for somebody to give me back a cover art. For example, the cover itself, I outsourced that. I didn't necessarily like the results I got back. Guy does great work, but for me, I was like, okay, how can I take this idea that I have and actually bring it to light for what I want to use it for?
Got it. Okay, yeah. The specific, right?
Yeah.
The specific details. Right,
So
right.
for, let's just say that cover art for ShoTime Volume 3, I built that myself from scratch, right? There was no AI influence.
I
I
like
had
it
to go
too.
get all of the
Yeah.
different pictures over the time of being an artist, and we had to strategically place them. It's not just like, oh, we threw any photo on there. No, a lot of those photos are milestone photos. So the main one in the middle, that's Club Soda, that's Dave East, that's one of the bigger shows that I had had up until that moment. A lot of the other ones, like I said, are just milestones. You have the Onyx photo when I opened for Onyx.
Yeah.
You got J. Woo the Damager in there as well. Sky Zoo, I think even a picture from that made it. Like was just so many elements that I used as far as the background of the pictures. It's not just, hey, I got 15 photos, let me just throw them on. No, they all mean something individually. And
Got it.
it's the body of work. It's what I had done up until now, the shows, the music, everything. I feel like for me, it's all depicted on that cover.
Got it. Speaking of cover, speaking of shows, music of Montreal, what do you think it takes for the people of Montreal to appreciate Montreal's music scene?
Depends on what side of it you sit on. Because if we look at Montreal overall, it's French. So when we ask questions like that, we really have to put it into perspective. Are we talking about the French side or the
French,
English side?
true.
Because the French side, I feel like it is a little bit more appreciated overall than the English side. The English side, in my opinion, is we're too focused on making it in Quebec. If you want to make it in Quebec, speak French, do more French interviews, figure out how to incorporate yourself more with the French side of things if your focus is to blow up and be the biggest in Quebec. For example, there's a few artists throughout the city that rap in English, but they're Francophone.
Right, yeah.
Right? And you can see the difference, right? So when they do their interviews, they know the Montreal slang that they use in French, all the different things, and the lingo, the nuances, they know that and they understand it. And as a result, it translates on screen. So the people here are like, oh, I feel that. I understand that. Where I find for the English rappers, our influences are not the same. Our influences are a lot more American when it comes to hip hop.
Yeah.
And as a
got it.
result, we're making music to feed that audience. And we're not focusing enough on the actual markets that we have. The French market is what it is. But the English side, we need to
Make it more relatable.
broaden our focus. It can't just be like, oh, I want to make it in the States. Most of us as Canadian artists are not going to make it in the States, but where else can we make it? Can we make it in Canada overall?
BC, like, right? Yeah, I see what you mean.
So that's where a lot of people are like, oh, I want to go to Toronto. What are you going to do in Toronto that you're not doing in Montreal music-wise? Nothing. The big cities are oversaturated with a bunch of different artists. Everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie. You really want to go on a grind in Canada as an English artist? Book small venues in small cities. They've got nothing else better to do on the weekends sometimes than to pull up to the show. And if you put on a good show, I'm not saying just go
Yeah.
go perform anywhere because, hey, if you're not good at performing, nobody's going to care.
True.
But if you go out there and you put on a good show, those are the people that are going to come back and rewatch your stuff and check in on your music. I go to Toronto and I perform right now. I could kill it. 20-minute set, 25-minute set, doesn't matter. Not a lot of people are going to come back. Why? Because they've just seen 10 other artists. They were at a show last week. I find if we're too focused on the bigger cities and the bigger markets and the American market, it doesn't necessarily make sense. Go to Europe. Why do I say go to Europe? Because that's what the French people do. You're from Quebec. Right? So if I go to certain...
Right, some different areas.
If I go to France and I say I'm from Quebec, they're going to be like, what do you mean you're from Quebec? They're all French that come out of there. That gives me a different playing field than if I try to go to New York and blow up as a... I'm not going to. Like, I'm sorry. There's artists from there that can't blow up that are talented and do what they do. So it all depends on how you look at things.
Right. And it's important to make it relatable, like you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
When a francophone that raps in English could use the slang because they make it relatable to the people in the city based on what they know from the city.
Yeah.
So yes.
I also find a lot of French music has European influence anyways.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's different. It's not like, there's English rap and there's French rap coming out of the same city, but it's not the same music. Sonically, it's not even the same sound. Right? So...
Speaking of which, I don't want to cut you off. I know I was listening, there was an interview recently. I was hearing that there's a lot of people who record, a lot of French artists who tend to record their music in Europe, specifically in Paris, and the beats, like you mentioned earlier, sonically it doesn't sound the same because they record it in France or even in Paris. So it's a huge factor too.
From my personal experience, a lot of ShoTime Volume 3 is the first time I don't have my European producer on the project. Because the types of beats that he produces, very modern, very great sound, but they didn't fit the story that I was going with. Because it's the people here want to hear what they want to hear. They're not necessarily open to somebody who raps like me on European beats. So they hear it and they're like, what is this? Right? And it's the same with videographers. Like I recently worked with a guy from France, and the overall visual is so different than working with a guy from here.
Okay.
Because they see things differently. Just like if you go for more of a corporate cameraman, he's going to give you a different perspective than if you grab somebody from the hood, right?
Right, true.
It's all about perspective. It's all about style, and the European style and the North American style is night and day.
True. Yeah.
And that goes back to networking, working with different types of people as well. It gives you a different perspective on what's out there. It gives you an opportunity to tap into different types of audiences, and sometimes it can just be as small as getting a different type of instrumental, using a different cameraman. All of that has an impact and makes a difference on the overall delivery that an artist is going for.
Good.
You keep doing the same things, it might work, but if it doesn't, then you're just wasting your time and you're not giving yourself an opportunity to grow.
So it's like that saying, what insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Yeah.
Right. So how does showbiz want to be remembered?
I actually sat down and thought about this the other day.
Shobiz514. I want to make sure I get
Oh, no, you can call me Showbiz.
Okay.
I've gotten so much more used to it over the years than I was at the beginning. Before I used to be like, yo, don't forget the 514.
Right.
Now I also, it comes with the level of comfort. So I feel like at the beginning, a lot of people were like, oh, 514. And I was more like, hey, I'm trying to find my way as an artist, so I need the 514, where it's like, hey, if you want to call me Showbiz, Shobiz514, Show, as a couple of people have called me, I understand that it's not being disrespectful, so I've accepted it a lot more.
Got it.
The question again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, how does Shobiz514 want to be remembered?
Okay, so yeah. I thought about this question the other day just for myself. The goalpost keeps changing, right? Because at first I was like, oh, I want to be able to do it. Then I started doing it and realized it could be done. Then I was like, oh, I want to be known in the city. I feel like that's happening. I'm not there yet, but in certain circles I go and people are like, yo, I see what you're doing, keep doing it. I want to be remembered for doing something for the city. If Showbiz makes it as a big time artist, great. But can I help put the city in a position to move forward and be taken more seriously as a city that has a bunch of really talented artists? So the goal for me now is like where I sit here and I'm like, yo, the Magnums, the Eye Blast, the Jimmy D's, those are the people that I grew up on and that I remember. And if you ask them, they have a whole list of people that they grew up on and they remembered. I just hope 10 years from now, somebody's like, yo, that Showbiz guy actually had an impact on the way the city was perceived music-wise. Will it happen? I don't know. It all depends on how much work I put in, how much I grow as an artist, and I can't be limited to like, oh, I'm 35 now, there's a cap to this.
Right.
There is no cap.
Listen, man, Ghostface just dropped an album, right?
But
Listen.
I think I saw a Styles P interview where he said, how come hip-hop's the only genre that has an age limit?
We do it to ourselves, for real, yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like, you look at another genre, Bob Dylan's still out there touring. Still doing stuff, right? So
there's no cap, man. There's no
as
cap.
long as I don't stop doing what I'm doing and building and growing and putting on for the city when I get the opportunity to, I hope I can get there. Right? If, like I said, if I blow up, whatever, that's all great. I just want to be remembered as somebody who did something to help move things forward.
Got it.
Right? Like, oh yeah, that artist Showbiz, he had the platform Montreal, Hidden Hits. He put some artists in a position to actually do something. Like, he did this for the community. That's kind of how I want to be remembered. I don't want to be that guy that they're like, yo, he didn't care about the city. He just did his thing, took what he could get,
right.
and turned his back on everybody. No, that's not for me. So I still live in the same place. In every track I put on for Below the Track, Southside. It's part of what I'm doing. Like it's part of it.
Got it.
I can't say, oh, I'm coming from this perspective and then I'm not still actually doing it.
Right.
Like I can get to any heights. I can have multiple houses, cars, and stuff like that. But if I'm not still doing it for the same types of people and for the same types of reasons, to me it doesn't do anything. So if I can't give back however I can, was it real?
That's good.
It was fun, yeah.
Right.
But you're not going to be remembered. You're just going to be one of those artists that are passing through.
So now let me flip it. How does Kyle wants to be remembered?
As somebody who didn't give up. As somebody who didn't break and necessarily conform to the mold that I was already given. I want the people that come after me to be put in a position where they don't necessarily have to go through the same struggles that I went through to learn the same lessons that I had to learn. I just want to be remembered as the best version of myself that I could be. I've worked on communication skills. I've worked on different elements of life to the point where I find like I can be looked up to as a role model and I can be remembered as that person that was considerate of others. And sometimes to a fault, I put other people's interests before my own because I realize it might put them in a better position to achieve what they need to achieve. That's I'm a man of the people.
That's it, man.
Like,
That's it.
that's how I see it. I'm a man of the people. If I can get a certain amount of knowledge and pass it on to somebody else, and they can use that and run with it, great. It's also part of the reason why I like being a manager, because I can. How do I put it? My goal isn't just to manage the business. My goal is to give you life lessons that you can use outside of this job. And I find, for me at least, if you have that perspective, when you encounter people and you meet people, they feel it too. They understand that you're a genuine person. Like, I'm the furthest thing from a hater. I could care less if somebody does better than me. I'm happy for them. I want them to do better than me. Why? Because now it gives me a new bar to reach. Right? Oh, that person's doing that. Let's figure out how I can get to that, and then maybe set the bar higher for somebody else. And they're like, well, it's reachable. Right? So, yeah, I'm a man of the people. I want those around me to do well. And if I can be remembered as a person, like I said, that didn't give up and was able to help other people, I'm happy with that.
That's dope, man.
I don't need too many things. I'm not a materialistic person. I got a lot of stuff now, but that's only because I'm an artist, and people will be like, well, you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. This is hip hop. Half of it's a fashion show. Like,
don't believe everything you see, man. Don't believe everything you see.
Right.
Any final words, any gems you would like to share to the people, your audience? How could they follow you and all of that?
I made it easy to follow me. Shobiz, SHOBIZ 514, all platforms. What do I want the people to remember? Not to quit and give up on yourself, and it's never too late. Doesn't matter. I started actually making music when I was 28.
Wow.
What I was doing at 28 compared to what I'm doing now, I kind of wish I would have started earlier. So it's never too late. Dive in, follow your dreams. Don't be that person that's like, I should have did this, I could have did that. It's 2025. It's not like it used to be where you miss your window. Your window is whatever you want it to be now. The less risk you take, the less fun you'll have. The less experiences you'll have. The more regrets you'll have. If you're going to do something, dive in head first and go all in. It's the only way.
That's it, man. Hey, it was definitely an honor and a pleasure to have you here, learning from you, getting to see the vulnerable side of yourself. You're very authentic when it comes to your music and just being a person itself. So I just want to tell you, keep on keeping on, keep setting the bar high, keep being great, and keep leading by example, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Always, man.
This is great.
Love, love.
Thank you.
Hey, listen. Another episode of Elevate the Mic, where we elevate mindset and skill sets. Peace.